because I know a lot of you have been asking about different meetings and events that we couldn't have during COVID, and trust me, we tried so hard. So this really frees us up to do everything that we want to do with healing meetings and women's conferences. So I am so looking forward to seeing you and having you be a part of this.
So I want to give you a twofold call to action. Number one, if your church turned in to a liberal nightmare in 2020 and you need a place to go, I would be happy to have you at our church. Number two, if you are a partner or a friend of our ministry, Revival Today, this is the biggest move by far we've ever made. By the time we finish remodeling that building, the acquiring of the property, you're looking at a couple of M's. So if you would stand with us now, I'll say thank you ahead of time. Pray and ask the Holy Ghost what He would have you to do. You've been so generous, and I thank you ahead of time for your extreme generosity. I know I speak on behalf of my wife, everybody here at Revival Today, when I say we love you very much. And now I can say I look forward to seeing you face to face here at the new home of Revival Today.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Check the Market. Today, September 29th, Wednesday. Trash day in my neighborhood. See if it gets picked up today. Tiff, good morning. Good morning, Sandra. Roseanne, good morning. Lyric, good morning. And welcome to Check the Market, where we check the market, economics, cryptocurrencies, and whatever else we feel like checking. D&D Investments from Portland, Oregon. Good morning. Danielle Davis, good morning to you, and welcome. Where's everybody watching from this morning? Frank, good morning. Ian, welcome. Thank you very much. I was finally able to get an appointment, so I figured I might as well take it and get my hair cut. It's getting a little out of control. Yesterday was quite the ride in the markets. Morning, Justin, Joshua, Tiff from Georgia. Got a whole bunch of states represented today. Thank you very much. Looks like futures are up a little bit. Oh, market already open. Look at that. And stock market's up after the beating it took yesterday. People jumping out of tech stocks. whose tech stock portfolio took a beating yesterday. But it looks like it's looking up today. Dow Jones is up about 0.25%. S&P is up 0.33%. And the Nasdaq's up almost 0.5%. Bullish on aluminium company AA. That's Alcoa. Alcoa is a good company. I've invested in them before, made some profit, and I sold. Let me actually take a look, see where they're trading at right now. Oh, wow. If you would have bought Alcoa back in March of 2020, right at like the low point, March 27th, right in that March 20th, right in that area, you would have almost 10x'd your money by now. Alcoa is up to $50 a share. It's a good company. Headquartered in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is where Check the Market is broadcasting live from. Michael, good morning. XRP jumped like 4% in 10 minutes. It did. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin's down a little bit. Everything's down a little bit. XRP. Oh yeah, XRP did a jump there. Let's see what's going on. See if there's any news on XRP. XRP. Let's see if they tweeted something. Doesn't look like it. But it did jump almost back up to $1.96. Good morning, Naveed. Yes, they do. They produce aluminium for a whole bunch of different companies. I first found out about the company because I saw Alcoa stamped on like rims for trucks. So I looked it up. That was a couple of years ago that I invested in them now. But I like that company. Awesome. Well, let's get into it this morning. See what's going on in the markets out there. Good morning, David. How's it going, sir? Disney losing Avenger franchise? Question. And Amazon's new surveillance robot. We'll get into it today, see what's going on there. All right, let's see the first article. Yes, Sandy, this is all about stocks, cryptocurrencies, real estate, whatever else you want to invest in. It's a show about investments, how to make some money on the side. Thanos, is that how you pronounce it? Thanos? Could Disney lose Avengers? What investors should know about the comic book lawsuit? So this is the first time that I heard about it this morning. Let's take a look at it. Thousands of traders just like you. In Avengers Infinity War, the Thanos snap changes the fate of several characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Could a real-life Thanos snap happen and keep Walt Disney from creating new content with several of its biggest superhero characters? What happened? Lawsuits between Marvel comic book creators and Disney could change the outlook of the superhero movie universe. The family of Stan Ditko filed a notice of termination of Spider-Man, a character that first appeared in a comic book in 1962. The lawsuit uses copyright law, which grants authors or heirs the right to reclaim their works after a set period of time. Under the lawsuit, Disney would have to give up the rights to Ditko-created characters in June 2023. The specific claims from the Ditko family center on Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, Two characters Ditko co-created. Sony Group Corp currently has media rights to the Spider-Man franchise. Continue. Lawsuits against Disney and Marvel currently center on the characters of Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Falcon, and Thor. Disney's defense claims that the comic book characters were created by made-for-hire workers, which would make them ineligible for copyright termination. Marvel had the right to exercise control over Lieber's contributions and paid Lieber a per-page rate for his work. Disney claims about Larry Lieber, Stan Lee's younger brother, who also has filed termination notice. Lieber was the co-creator for Iron Man, Ant-Man, and Thor. Why it's important? The latest report shows that Disney would lose full ownership of the characters if they lose the lawsuit. This means Disney could still make movies and content with the popular superhero characters, but would be forced to split profits with the families of the comic book character creators. And this would obviously affect Disney's stock if they no longer have full control or full rights to any of this. So, and if anybody is invested in Disney, which is a popular stock for a lot of portfolios, in the end, if you have some allocation to entertainment, then this might affect you. So keep an eye on it. And yeah, I've invested in Disney before. I currently don't hold any Disney stock, though. Continue. All right. Oh, right down there. Since acquiring Marvel in 2009, Disney has enjoyed massive success from the Marvel characters. Movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe have earned more than $23 billion from the worldwide box office. Marvel characters also help boost revenue of Disney Plus, consumer products, licensing, and theme park tickets. So it would definitely affect Disney's stock if they no longer own the rights to those Marvel characters. Continue. Soaring oil and bond yields enter the inflation group chat. So I saw this article this morning. It looks like the markets are going to try and force the Federal Reserve's hands on inflation. And we'll see how all that shakes out here over the next couple of weeks. There'll definitely be some opportunity to make some money on the downside. We're probably going to see more swings like we did yesterday, where we'll have like a nice down day, and then days like today, or days like we saw last week? Tuesday? Monday the market went down, right? Last week. And then Tuesday went back up again over the next 2 days. So you can play the market that way a little bit and make some money on weekly options contracts if you'd like to do that. Continue. Let's see the article. Suddenly, soaring oil and sagging bond prices are complicating DC's messy tasks. On Tuesday, two major trends converged and managed to kill two birds with one stone. Commodity bulls and bond vigilantes joined hands to shake up a market that's become too complacent with the status quo, and sent a pointed message to Washington's perpetually quarreling establishment ahead of DC's deadline to avert a federal government shutdown. Oh, that's also playing into it. That's October 18th. And a self-inflicted debt ceiling calamity, a sell-off in bonds quickened, triggering a rout in stocks and a spike in interest rates. Heating up the toxic brew is the price of oil, which looks like it is prepping a run above $80 a barrel, especially with global demand so high. Energy shortages in China and the UK underscore how fuel price spikes are starting to hit home for some industrialized countries. Continue. The moves in markets couldn't possibly have come at a worse time, with the Federal Reserve carefully calibrating the market's anxieties about both soaring prices and curtailing its massive bond purchases by next year. And some think the former is increasingly likely to impact the latter, which is partly why bond investors seem to be forcing the government's hand. Inflation expectations are finally catching up to inflation and the drama in Washington. Gene Goldman, CIO at Cetera Investment Management, told Yahoo Finance, with regard to soaring prices, transitory, which is a word the Fed likes to use, has become a byword of pandemic-era central bank policymaking. The Fed anticipates that much of the pressures pushing up inflation will eventually dissipate. However, Goldman argued the eventual landing spot of inflation will be above pre-pandemic and Fed target levels. As of August, headline prices were running above 5%, with core prices not far behind. If inflation was as transitory as the Fed suggests, year-over-year inflation would not be this high. So it looks like investors are starting to catch on to this, that it might not be transitory, the inflation, and they're probably going to force the Fed's hand on raising interest rates, which might come as soon as next year, if that's the case. Continue. With tapering being the first step to remove stimulus and the Fed not wanting to expand its balance sheets while raising interest rates, the Fed is most likely to begin tapering as soon as possible in November, so that if inflation keeps rising, they can address it with higher rates faster. Within the last week alone, the benchmark 10-year Treasury has added around 20 basis points, while the inflation-sensitive 2-year yield spiked to its highest in over a year, according to Mark Chandler, Chief Market Strategist at Bannockburn Global Forex. And given that yields are still too low relative to U.S. economic growth, Ceteris Goldman thinks the 10-year could breach the psychologically important 2%. Let's see where it's at today. Down a little bit. It is down a little bit. The U.S. 10-year currently at 1.505%. 10-year Treasury. There we go. Continue. And go to the next one. I don't sell my stocks when there's volatility. Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary, our favorite shark. Definitely my favorite shark. Are we on the app? I'm not seeing any of the comments. Kevin O'Leary doesn't sell his stocks. Continue. Stocks sank and the tech-heavy Nasdaq suffered its biggest pullback since March on Tuesday, while bond yields rallied to 3-month high amid concerns over rising inflation. But Kevin O'Leary, it wasn't enough to scare the Shark Tank investor away. Volatility, I don't love it, but when it does happen, it lets me readjust. I don't sell my stocks when there's volatility. I try to find opportunity in it, which is very well said. Always try to find opportunity. If the stock market's up, there's opportunity. If the stock market is down, there's opportunity. When people talk about market crashes, they always make it seem so negative. But there's people out there that have made the most money in their hedge funds when the stock market goes down, actually. So placing a bet on the stock market going down can make you way more money than it going up in a short period of time. So there's always opportunity to be made on the downside and opportunity on the upside of the stock market. So that I say would be the tip of the day. Always try to find opportunity in everything. Whenever you read an article...
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Whenever you read an article, even if it's negative, there's always opportunity. Like, for example, now we're seeing oil prices are going up. Yes, it's hurting, it's hurting us when we fill up our cars or whatever. But there's opportunity there. If oil prices are up, that means that oil companies are making more money, so you can invest in oil companies. Oil companies are going up right now. They have been for a while, after going down for a long time. Since 2014, 15, they took a beating all the way at the beginning of 2020, and that's when they started going up again. And so there's always opportunities in any market situation. Market is down, cryptocurrency might be up, so there's opportunities in cryptocurrency, although they are trading in tandem right now. But there's always opportunity to make money in the markets. So Kevin O'Leary said that really well. Let's see the rest of that article. There we go. Godly morning to you, Scott. All right, let's see the, let's continue with that Kevin O'Leary article. Continue. The chairman of O-Shares ETF also said talk of the death of the rally in mega-cap death stocks has been greatly exaggerated. The productivity enhancement that is occurring in technology is the reason we have such a buoyant economy right now. I'm a big user of indexes, so for me that means adding more to my technology portfolio, my enterprise portfolio in digitalization, in retail, all of that. He's also adding more crypto-related assets to his portfolio, a longtime critic of cryptocurrencies. O'Leary is now a self-described crypto convert, investing in the blockchain holding startup Immutable Holdings, which jumped more than 60% Tuesday in its debut on Canada's NEO exchange. Immutable subsidiaries include 1-800-Bitcoin and NFT.com. Continue. I've been raising my position in the whole crypto infrastructure space from 3% by year end. It's going to be 7% of the portfolio. I'm looking for investments, not just coins and tokens. Overall, O'Leary predicts the fourth quarter will be a volatile one for investors, as moves by the Federal Reserve and policy decisions out of Washington, D.C. serve as catalysts for the stock market. At the end of the day, it's all noise. The economy is very healthy. So even there, if there's volatility in the market, you can make good money by investing in the UVXY. Ticker symbol UVXY. If you buy some options on it, even weekly options, you can make some quick money with UVXY. Obviously, you can also lose it, but Stephanie just got here. What's this about Disney losing the Avengers? Yes, there's a lawsuit right now. Disney might be losing the Avenger franchise or the rights to it. The family of some of the creators are suing Disney because of some copyright provision. So if you're invested in Disney, I would keep an eye on it. Continue. Senator Loomis. I think she's one of the senators that has cryptocurrency. Slams Yellen over $600 IRS reporting requirement. So we looked into this a couple of days ago. Yellen defended the proposal, saying there's a tax gap that needs filling. Of course. Continue. Senator Cynthia Loomis on Tuesday let loose on Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen over the Biden administration proposal to force banks to report to the Internal Revenue Service on every transaction Americans make that is $600 or more. There are obvious privacy concerns for all Americans here, and this represents a dramatic new regulatory burden for community banks and credit unions in Wyoming and elsewhere, which is one of several aimed at helping to pay for President Biden's multi-trillion-dollar plans for expanding social programs and fighting climate change. Continue. Loomis said banks will have to hire contractors to rat on their customers and scolded. Bank customers are not subject to the federal government. That's right. Banks do not work for the IRS. That's right. The senator suggested Americans would find alternatives to traditional banks just to thwart IRS access to their personal information, such as cryptocurrency, not because they're trying to hide anything, but because they're not willing to share everything. And that's right too. My question is, are you aware of how unnecessary this regulatory burden is? Loomis asked Yellen, do you distrust the American people so much that you need to know when they bought a couch or a cow? Yellen told Loomis she disagreed with the senator's assessment, suggesting that Loomis might misunderstand the proposal. Banks already report directly to the IRS the interest they pay on accounts when it exceeds $10, and this is not a proposal to provide detailed transaction-level data by banks to the IRS. Yellen argued it's a proposal to add 2 additional pieces of easily ascertained information onto the 1099 INT form the banks already file. Continue. The Treasury Secretary went on to defend the new proposal, praising it as a way to bring in more money for the feds. I think it's important to recognize that we have a tax gap that's estimated at $7 trillion over the next decade. Stop spending money. That is, taxes are due and are not being paid to the government that deprive us of the resources that we need to do critical investments to make America more productive and competitive. Yellen pointed out that the IRS already has a wealth of information about individuals, citing examples such as W-2 but said the IRS needs more information on higher income individuals who have opaque sources of income, not low income people. And I'm going to say that she's not being truthful here. Continue. While $600 threshold is not usually where you're going to find the massive amount of tax revenue you think Americans are cheating you out of. Yellen conceded that's correct, but it's important to have comprehensive information so that individuals can't game the system and have multiple accounts. These people, the White House estimates that the proposal to monitor all transactions of 600 or more could bring in roughly $463 billion in additional revenue over the next decade through IRS enforcement actions. And I'm pretty sure that's not going to come from the rich like they want it to. It's going to come from, everybody else. The middle class. Continue. Uh-oh. Here we go. I saw this article last night, and so I figured I'd share it with you. Amazon introduces first household robot to wave of mockery and privacy concerns. So Amazon is releasing a new surveillance robot that they're going to put into every household in the United States of America. Continue. Amazon's announcement of an Alexa with wheels household robot has been met with a wave of ridicule and questions about the privacy concerns this technology represents. The Astro is Amazon's first household robot, and it can be remote controlled by its owner when they're not at home to perform tasks or check on a pet or family members. The device can also detect and alert owners to unusual activity. So the days of you being able to, I might have done this once or twice, pretend that you're not feeling well as a child, and then wait till your parents leave the house, get up, grab some popcorn, watch a movie, and then, when you hear the garage door open, run back in bed. So those days are over because the Amazon robot will be checking on you to make sure that you stay in bed. No TV, no popcorn. Can it clean? No, it cannot cook either. And we're not getting one, Bethany. I don't want something like that rolling around my house. I don't like the iRobot Roomba thing that we have now. Amazon is selling Astro as more than just a robot, however, giving it a multitude of expressions to give impressions of having a personality. During the new tech's unveiling, an Astro was asked to beatbox, and it went through a range of expressions as it played beatboxing sounds. Continue. The device itself has a large screen that acts as its face, atop 3 wheels. It can be used to video chat, move objects, play music, and more. Addressing obvious security concerns, Amazon insists Alexa on wheels can be programmed to stay out of certain areas and can also be set up to a do not disturb mode. Sure. Rebecca, she wants an Amazon robot. Well, if that's what you want. Amazon Astro and Alexa with wheels and cameras that can follow you around. You don't even have to get pets anymore. You can just get an Astro. Continue. Amazon has just introduced their new demonic creation, Astro, a robot with cameras that follows you around your house. Continue. With an initial retail price of approximately $1,000, Amazon believes the device will be in every home in 5 to 10 years. We'll see about that. We talked about AI and processors getting more powerful, and inevitably robotics came up. And one of the discussions was, does anyone here in this meeting think that in 5 to 10 years, there won't be more robots in your home? Amazon's vice president of product, Charlie Trichler, told CNBC, and everyone was like, well, yeah, of course. It's like, well, then let's get going. Well, yeah, of course. It's like, well, then let's get going. Looks like they had a meeting in California there. An Astro in every home within 10 years doesn't seem too likely, though judging by the reactions on social media to the tech announcement, with many mocking the odd-looking tech and others bringing up privacy concerns, activists have long argued about previous products utilizing the same technology, such as Amazon's Alexa. We're screwed, one Twitter user wrote in a reaction to Amazon News. Hidden roving cameras are the last thing people will welcome, technology writer Jeffrey A. Fowler added. Continue. It would be great for vlogging, that is true. I have one of those. It's a cat. It doesn't listen to a dang thing I say, and I like that better. Thanks. So yeah, just get a cat if you want something follow you around and not listen to anything that you say. Continue. If I go to someone's house and the thing appears, I'm going to annihilate it from orbit like the hand of God nightmare critter. Surveillance hellion, little Jeffy's demonic spy. So people, some people are not too excited about what's going on there. Continue. Not today, Satan, Kim Master said. Amazon's Astro will be first sold on an invitation-only fashion, with would-be users asked to sign up and then some being invited for the chance to try the device before it goes to the mass market. The product does not yet have a specific launch date, but is expected to drop sometime before the end of the year. Right in time for... It is a Decepticon, you're right. Personalized R2-D2. Continue. There it is. Cameras and everything. Following you around. If another company came out with this, I could maybe get behind it. But Amazon, being the surveillance conglomerate that they are, if Amazon, Google, or Facebook comes out with one of those, I wouldn't get it. That's for sure. Continue. We talked about this, when was that? Last week, Friday, I believe. ASML, the chip machine maker based out of the Netherlands. They just came out with an article this morning about them. Critical chip machine maker ASML. It is freaky. If Apple creates one, we're getting it. We're definitely not. I know that some people would like it. I know, Rebecca, would you actually get one? If it had more utility. If it could clean. So if they put like an iRobot Roomba style vacuum cleaner on it. Yeah. And then put a mop attachment on it too if you can. See, now that has more utility, but I would still not trust it because it came from Amazon. I don't think I've seen that movie. Chance said, isn't Astro the dog from the Jetsons? I remember that. That's like the Flintstones in space, right? The Jetsons? Does anybody know? I remember watching that. Anyways, continue. ASML has raised its long-term outlook following a surge in demand for semiconductors that its machines help to make. The Dutch company, which makes the lithography equipment that's used to produce the world's most advanced chips, said in a statement on its investor day that it now expects its annual revenue to hit 24 to 30 billion euros by 2025, with gross margins up to between 54 and 56%. That's pretty good. The prediction is significantly higher than the 15 to 24 billion euro range it had previously forecast. We see significant growth opportunities beyond 2025, the company said, adding that it expects to achieve annual revenue growth rate of around 11% between 2020 and 2030. So that's pretty good. ASML is on our list of stocks to research, and I did hear that some people actually did buy into them. ASML was way down yesterday. I mean, all tech stocks got hit pretty bad yesterday. So it might be a good point to get in. I thought it was a little bit expensive, but it's still a good stock to get in, especially... Oh yeah, it was way down. It's down 11% this week. So that might be a good... good entry point there soon for ASML. They're still down a little bit today. But they're seeing significant growth opportunities beyond 2025. Demand for chips has soared worldwide in the last year after the coronavirus pandemic led to a chip crunch that wreaked havoc on the automotive industry and beyond. Continue. ASML said global megatrends in the electronics industry, coupled with a highly profitable and fiercely innovative ecosystem, are expected to continue to fuel growth across the semiconductor market. All those Astros for Amazon are going to need chips too. All right, next article. Why Boeing stock is trading higher today? Is it trading higher still? Still invested in Boeing. Still think it's a good company. Good old-fashioned American company. It is. It's up 4% today. Nice. Continue. Boeing Company shares are trading higher after Bernstein upgraded the stock from market perform to outperform and raised its price target to $279. Bernstein analyst Douglas Harn noted, "We update our outlook for commercial aircraft deliveries. We believe we're finally heading to the inflection point for global travel." So they're updating their outlook for commercial aircraft. I was asked a question yesterday about Rolls-Royce as well. So Rolls-Royce isn't just a manufacturer of vehicles, they manufacture aircraft engines as well. They actually just on Monday got a contract to make new engines for the B-52 bombers for the U.S. Air Force. It was about a three point something billion dollar contract. They're currently trading at around $1.90 a share. The stock has taken a massive hit. This is RYCEY, Rolls-Royce Holdings. Back in 2019, they were trading close to $6 a share. I think there's some opportunity there in Rolls-Royce as a company, especially if the travel industry, it is going to continue to recover, and demand for aircraft will go up. There's been a ton of analysis on this that I've been going through lately because of Boeing, being invested in Boeing, that says that aircraft demand is going to continue to go up. And right now, there is actually a boom in aircraft demand for private aircraft. And I know that commercial aircraft, it's going to continue at some point, the boom. And so this might be a good point to get into Rolls-Royce if that's a company that you're interested in buying. So that's RYCEY. It is an over-the-counter stock, so you can't get it on Robinhood. You have to trade it on a TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, one of those companies. Fidelity, if you have an account with one of those, because you can't trade it on Robinhood since it is a London-based or an England-based stock. RYCEY, Rolls-Royce. So I was asked a question about that one yesterday. I was also asked a question about TGGY, Trans Global Group, which was trading at around 1.0136. So a little more than a penny. So it is an actual penny stock. It's a green healthcare stock that's trying to get in the cannabis business. Any stock that's that low is extremely risky. But that being said, the stock did have a good amount of volume, which you always want to check out penny stocks, especially if somebody is talking about penny stocks on Twitter, penny stocks on YouTube. If somebody is talking about a specific penny stock, you want to make sure that you take a look at the volume on that stock. How much of it is being traded? Because if there's not a lot of volume, it might be hard for you to sell it if you're trying to get out. So make sure you take care of that, or make sure you look into that when you are trading penny stocks. So Trans Global Group, I consider that more of a close to gambling than I would as an actual investment. The company doesn't have a website. The website that they had was that I went to was shut down. So I usually don't invest in companies that don't post financials on their website. Seems a little scammy to me. But yeah, TGGI, Trans Global Group. I mean, if it just moves by a little bit, a fraction of a penny, that could be 10%. So that might be worth the gamble for a quick 10%. Or lose a quick 20. RTX is another good defense stock. It is Raytheon Technologies. I like that company. Raytheon, General Dynamics, Boeing. I like those companies. Raytheon is up about 3% over the last 3 months. It is up almost 50%, 48.57% this past year. So Raytheon had a good run there this year. And Raytheon also produces engines for aircraft. So that might be an alternative to Rolls-Royce, Raytheon. LKCO, let's see what they're doing today. I'm still invested in them. LKCO, man, they're taking a beating. But all Chinese stocks have down about 50% over the last 5 months. I think I'm down about 40% on that stock. I'm still holding it though. All right, let's get into the low, medium, high for today. Low, I have landwatch.com. I've been looking at this a little bit more just to see if there's some parcels of land around here that are worth snapping up as an investment. Landwatch.com. Any opinions on CPT or Boom? Boom, I've heard of that one before, Boom. That's a supersonic. Oh, no, it's not. DMC Global. I will look into those. CPT and Boom. Let me see if I have any notes on CPT. Camden Property Trust. I have looked at them before. That is familiar to me. I don't think I have any notes on it, so I will have to look more into it and let you know about it. All right, so landwatch.com. You can find some great little gems, especially, I mean, I found, 1 acre of land around here in Pittsburgh for about $2,000. That was the lowest that I found it. The counties are surrounding Pittsburgh, not Pittsburgh itself. There's a piece of land that I just found. It's about 10 acres just north of Pittsburgh for about $30,000, $34,000. So those are the things that I'm kind of looking at, little pieces of land that have road access for less than $2,000. So if you're interested in diversifying a little bit, buying actual land, you can do that by going to landwatch.com. It has a great little map of the United States. So wherever you live, you can click on it and it'll show you land that's for sale in that area. Or even not in that area. If you want to buy land in a different state, you can do that too. But yeah, landwatch.com is one that I like to use for real estate. And I've been spending some time on that website lately just to look if there's any little parcels of land that I would like to buy. High risk. LCID, Lucid Group Incorporated. This is a new competitor to Tesla. We've talked about this company over the past couple of weeks. I like this stock. I like the product. The vehicle is a 500 mile plus range electric vehicle. It has excellent styling and marketing. They just announced start of production and will be delivering vehicles starting in October. They don't yet have great fundamentals because they just started producing their vehicles. But I looked over the management, designers. The company has a lot of former Tesla designers and executives, which could make this a dangerous competitor to them, especially if they keep innovating. They're also working on an SUV, which they'll release in 2023, I believe. The only downside I see to this is the amount of EVs that are coming to market, and competition is high in that sector. They're also catering currently to a very small market in the $70,000 plus range for electric vehicles, but I'm sure that they'll be releasing a vehicle at a more competitive price point in the future. So Lucid Group LCID, I actually invested in this company now. I am officially invested. And so this is one that I'll be holding for the long term. Unless if I get some good returns on it, I would probably sell. But right now, Lucid Group, I am invested. So that is a good company. I wouldn't go all in on it. Just allocate a percentage to it, just because it is still very high risk. It's a new company. I don't know if they'll do what Kia did, because Kia marketed to. Kia vehicles are fairly well priced, so I don't know if they're going to be doing it like that. I know that they have been setting up studios in malls and places like that, especially in areas like Beverly Hills. They have a store in Brickell in downtown Miami, and so they've been setting themselves up strategically to market to the people that would be buying these vehicles, people that live in cities, or people that live in more affluent areas that would be able to buy a vehicle like that, no problem. And so they will be releasing it next month. I'll be keeping my eye on this company very closely. I think it is a good company, especially because they're innovating and they keep pushing. So LCID, and then landwatch.com for low risk if you're looking at investing in some real estate. No, we haven't brought that up in a while. So those are the two that I have for you today. Landwatch.com and high risk LCID. It's probably more medium to high risk, just because it is a. And then we'll wait for Rivian to go public as well. I think I might be investing in that one. And then yesterday I was asked about cryptocurrencies. So for anybody watching the replay of this later on this afternoon or tomorrow, whenever, CoinDesk.com has a tab called Crypto Explainer, and that was the website I was looking for yesterday. They do a very good job of explaining various cryptocurrencies. So they have cryptocurrencies, NFTs, decentralized finance, all sorts of stuff like that. So CoinDesk.com, if you're looking for a good explanation of cryptocurrencies, that would be the place to go. Awesome. And if anybody would like to invest in Revival today, now's your chance to do so. We have a gift that we're going to be sending you, and that is our Buy the Dip shirt. I'm waiting on Rivian. Amazon has invested in them. They're coming out with like a little truck. So you can check them out. Rivian, it's another electric car company. They haven't gone public yet. And yes, CoinDesk.com. So yeah, if you'd like to invest in Revival today, invest in everything that we do here. The returns that I've seen personally investing in ministries and investing in winning souls for the kingdom have far surpassed anything that I've ever done investing. And so if you would like to do that today, you can do so by going to revivaltoday.com and hit give now. You can text RT to 50155. Hashtag donate on Facebook. $RTGive Cash App. At RTGive on Venmo. Revivaltoday.com/PayPal for PayPal. You can also give cryptocurrencies by scanning the QR code that's going to appear on your screen with your and if we don't have cryptocurrencies you'd like to give, go to 412-446-2332. It looks like Becca pushed the wrong button back there. Or you can also send a check to Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, PA 15329. Rivian, Rivian. Rivian. Then don't forget to claim your offer, revivaltoday.com/offer, which is our Buy the Dip shirt. That way you can show everybody that you're a super fan with the Michael Douglas Wall Street suspenders on there. I don't think I actually own a pair of suspenders. I might have to get some. Douglas, how's it going? So yeah, that would be your gift today. For a gift of any size, we'll send that to you. And thank you. Post the watch. Oh man, you're right. I need to post the watch list. Thanks for reminding me about the watch list. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for hanging out today and checking the market with me. Let's see where everything's at right now. Looks like everything is positive still. Dow's up 166 points, S&P up 25, and the NASDAQ up 96. So not too bad. Have made up the losses from yesterday, but not too bad. See what happens at the end of the day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and go out there and make some money today. I will see you all tomorrow.